Well, some more disappointing data coming out of the housing market today. Hampton Pearson on the beat in D.C. Hi, Hampton.
Hi, Dylan. Well, new and existing home sales fell in November, and price declines for both continue at record amounts. Let's look first at the data on existing home sales, falling by 8.6% to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4.49 million units. That's down 10.6% from a year ago. The other headline, the median home price is now $181,300, down 13.2% from a year ago. That's the biggest monthly decline since the National Association of Realtors began keeping records back in 1968.
Your sales activity notched down to another level due to the fast deteriorating economic conditions, rising unemployment rate, and also the stock market plunged back in October and staying low through November. So a combination of factors has driven home sales to another notch lower.
Now, we have a similar gloomy report on new home sales from the Commerce Department. Sales down 2.9% last month to 207,000 units on a seasonally adjusted basis, the slowest pace in 18 years, and the median price of a new home sold was $220,400, down 11.5% from a year ago. That headline number was worse than what economists had expected. One other price barometer, this time from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, which tracks basically homes sold backed by mortgages from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Prices down 1.1% through the end of October, 7.5% over the last 12 months. Dylan?
Thank you, Hampton. Melissa?
Well, Dylan, the news is downbeat, but there may be opportunity for potential home buyers looking to take advantage of low mortgage rates and regional pockets of pricing strength. For more, I'm joined by Fred Glick. He's the president and CEO of U.S. Loans Mortgage, and Narman Barovich. He is the chief economist over at IHS Global Insight. Guys, great to have you with us.
Hey, Melissa.
Narman, I want to ask you the first question. We just heard the report from Hampton. Dismal data across the board when you look at new or existing homes. What struck me was the record drop in terms of the median price for existing homes, down 13% to $181,000. Where are we in terms of the price declines?
Well, it's not over yet, and it's likely to drop a lot more before it stabilizes. There are a number of factors here. Up until the summer, it was housing that was dragging the economy down. Now it's the other way around. The economy is dragging housing down. The economy, the credit crunch, dragging housing down. That's not going to end until, let's say, sometime in the spring, maybe the summer. And as long as that goes on, prices are going to keep dropping. Part of what's going on here is that even though affordability has improved for people who qualify to buy, a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines. If you expect prices to keep dropping, why would you buy now? And so I think there's a dynamic going on like that at this point.
That's a great point. Fred, I want to ask you about that. Are you finding that buyers are thinking about it? I mean, they're watching these historic price declines, and yet we keep hearing all this news indicating that there will be further price declines. So why should I go into the market right now?
What that number is a national number, and what we have is micro markets. And I mean, within 3 or 4 blocks in some areas, people still have a demand to live there. If they have jobs, if they have confidence in the economy or their own jobs per se, they're going to buy. So to take those macro numbers, yeah, it's awful some places, but it's terrific in other places. I had a buyer the other day that we looked at a property that just came on the market 2 days. I called the next day for an appointment to go see it, and it was already gone. It was under agreement. So it is out there. And I think it's really going to depend in the area that you're in and the job stability.
Sure. I want to ask you also, Fred, because there might be a lot of people out there who are tempted to buy, even in those areas of relative strength, because they have seen prices soften a bit. But the flip side is that you have to still sell the home that you're already in. And so you're going to be selling at the bottom of a market potentially. I mean, is that coming into play as well?
Well, a little bit, and a lot of people are first-time buyers, have been renting, and 2 people who have good income, they're able to put together even 5% down, 3.5% down with an FHA loan, and still qualify. As long as you have some equity, good credit, and income that we can verify, it can actually work for people. So there are people who get stuck in some homes. They do sell them at a price that's a little bit reduced, but what they're doing is they're getting a reduced house. I remember in California about a year ago, people had bought a house for $800,000. Their neighbor bought the same house. Their neighbor got foreclosed on. They were able to buy the new house for $400,000, and then they'd walk away from the old one. Now, that's
Right.
kind of been stopped by Fannie Mae.
Sure.
But as long as we're able to get these incredible rates and the prices have come down, I think we're at close to a zenith of really being able to buy in certain markets.
Right.
There are some that you just can't touch at this point.
Sure. Nariman, want to bring you back in. You know, Fred is talking about pockets of strength. I'm guessing from your standpoint that those pockets of strength not going to be enough to stimulate the market overall.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's being overwhelmed by all the negatives, and even the very highly qualified buyers, they're facing a lot of uncertainty. Will they have a job 6 months from
Absolutely.
now? 12 months from now?
Yeah.
You know, what's the stock market going to do? There's a lot of factors here that are playing into, or playing against, I should say, a lot of people buying a house. I'm sure there's some.
At the same time, Nariman, we're also getting data indicating that a lot of the programs that are at work right now to try and stabilize the housing market when it comes to loan modifications, for instance, that the redefault rate on loan modifications shows no signs of letting up. That program does not appear to be working. From your standpoint, what is the fix here? Because the government can step in and lower mortgage rates, but as you had mentioned, if you're worried about your job, you're not necessarily going to step into the market. At the same time, we've got the pressure of mounting foreclosures. In your view, what is the solution here?
If there is one silver bullet, if you will, if there's one fix, that is to get mortgage rates down even lower. I mean, already
Lower than 4.5 to what? What's the magic number?
Well, I mean, 4 to 4.5 would be a good number to reach. It's going to help everybody in the sense of new home buyers, existing homeowners, in the sense that you get a huge improvement in your monthly cash flow if you can get those mortgage payments down. That's going to be big. That's the key here, I think.
Okay.
Melissa, we've been so busy with refinancing and the rates getting under 5. People are saving a couple $100s a month. There's been a rumor out that Fannie Mae hopefully will go through and start doing refinances for people without appraisal. So all those upside down people will be able to lower their payments by a couple $100s a month, get in and stimulate the economy, and take a lot more houses off the market, and then be able to pull buyers in because there's going to be less of a choice. And if they have the jobs and the confidence, it then turns around and they buy.
Okay, great point there. Fred, Nariman, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.
You too.
Yeah.
And earlier on Power Lunch, we reported a breaking news alert about an industrial roof collapse in Dearborn and said that it was at Ford's River Rouge plant. In fact, the roof collapse occurred in an unoccupied part of a steel plant nearby. We do regret the error. Meantime, we've got just about 10 minutes to go before the bell rings on Wall Street. The Dow is down by